I need to make sure that that my camera is clean. I hate a dirty camera. Hi everyone. Happy Friday. Hopefully this like is good as far as the service because yeah, the other live. So I just started like getting into going live more often. So the other day I went live for like 30 minutes and I rewatched it and like some of the audio was just completely out. Yeah, how are you guys doing? It's Friday. I'm probably gonna go live on no, I'm not gonna go live on TikTok, but I probably am gonna jump on TikTok as well and do some separate videos. I wanted to go live because I feel like it's just I can flow better than like thinking about like, oh my god. Okay, so recently I posted on Threads. I went on a date the other day. Oh my god. I'm gonna like tell the story probably in depth a little bit more on my podcast when I can actually like sit and think. I'm like in the car right now. But long story short, I joined this new dating app called, I don't know if it's a new app, but it's new for me. So my girl recently told me, she was like, you need to get on this app called Coffee Meets Bagel. It's apparently like an app if people want to be serious and like, if you want to date and not find people that are like playing around or whatever. And mind you, I have been on a dating hiatus for like the past 2 years. Like I legit took a break from dating for 2 years. I was just not interested. I have been dating since like freaking forever, like middle school, high school, and it's like I'm 33. So at some point I was just like, all right, I just need to figure out like who I am, what I want in a relationship, like why I keep attracting these relationships or, these men where it's just not, it's just not, it's just not giving. So I had to do some deep reflection on myself. Like I definitely needed to go through just a spiritual journey to say the least. Also, can you guys let me know if you could hear me? Because, like I said, the other day I went live and people could not hear me. Also, if you guys are going to be rude, you will get kicked out of this live and reported. So watch your mouth. Okay, so long story short, I took a 2 year break from dating and I basically moved across the country and I'm like, okay, like I need to meet new people. I'm like super excited to just put myself back out there with no expectations. Like I'm someone that is, you know, becoming better, I guess, when it comes to detachment. Like you're not always going to get something out of something. Sometimes we're just meant to have experiences, and that's okay. And I think that's where we ran into this issue on the date. And I'll talk about what happened, and I'll talk about the post that I put on Threads, and we'll get into the date and the details. But I think that sometimes people date with expectation of like this is going to happen, this is supposed to happen, like I need to leave tonight feeling this way, or this person needs to come back to my apartment, or we need to leave with some type of closure. And it's like a date is basically an interview. Okay, so you're going on a job interview to either learn about the person if you're hiring them, you're learning about this person, you're asking the right questions, you're getting a feel of who they are, their character. And then if you are the one being interviewed, you know, you are talking about yourself, you're sharing things about yourself, you're sharing your knowledge, or basically trying to impress the person, right? So I feel like when it comes to, I'm speaking specifically to about heterosexual relationships, so man and women, okay? I'm not talking about, lesbian or gay relationships. I don't have experience on that, so I can't say what, you know. I can't really say what, yeah, I can't speak on that. I'm speaking from my experience dating men, heterosexual men. So, long story short, went on this new app, Coffee Meets Bagel. I'm like, okay, cool, like whatever. Let's try it out. It has been a while since I got on dating apps. I was on a few like over the past couple of years. I always end up deleting them after a while. Like either if I meet someone or I'm just like, I'd rather meet people in person, to be completely honest. Like I'm a better in person type of vibe. Like I feel like I can really understand a person and connect with them better in person. You can kind of get an idea of someone's like body language, the way that they are making eye contact with you, all that good stuff, right? So I'm better just in person. So I'd rather meet people that way. However, it's sometimes hard to do that. I'm an introvert, even though my job is very extroverted. I like to just have my space and my time. So long story short, I had made a few connections on the app, and this particular guy had asked to exchange numbers. We were probably talking not that many days, maybe like 3 days, maybe like 2, 3 days. And so we exchanged numbers, and he like texted me right away, and he's like, talking a little bit, and he's like, hey, like, what are you doing tonight? So I'm not a very spontaneous person, to be honest. Like, I like plans. I like when things are in my calendar. That helps me to stay like organized. And I just like to know what I'm doing for the day. I'm not someone that like, can like just pick up and go. It depends. It depends on the friend. It depends on my vibe, but usually I'm not that spontaneous. So, especially if I don't know you, like I'd rather us like plan a date, we have it in our calendars, we can respect each other's time in that way. So, he had asked like what I was doing, and I was like, I'm actually going to be like working pretty late. Um, so, I'll let you know in like an hour or whatever. So I finished work. I'm thinking about it. I even like asked my girl, I'm like, should I go on this date? Like, I don't know. I feel like I just want to get out the house. Like, I had been working literally all day. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? F it, whatever. I'm in a new city. So we were supposed to go to one particular place. I like was not trying to rush and get ready. That's another thing too. Like when plans are kind of like sprung on me, like I hate feeling pressured to like be working, moving really fast to get ready. So I told him, I'm gonna be there at like certain time. He's like, okay, take your time. Then he like calls me. He's like, I guess trying to check like if I was gonna like stand him up or whatever or show up. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna leave in like 20 minutes. So the place that he originally mentioned going to, they were gonna close by the time like I got to the area. Mind you, I want to give you context that this man like gave me his address and asked for me to like come park by his apartment because he wanted to walk with me to the place that we were going. Which at first like I didn't think too much of it, but I'm like I'd rather just meet you there. Like as a woman, me personally, I I don't feel like I have I don't know. I just don't feel comfortable like being near someone's house or having someone to come to my house, me going to their house. Like that's just not the type of girl I am. So, um, so yeah. So we ended up meeting up. I actually just went and like parked near his house. He came out from his apartment. We walked over. Mind you, this while we're walking, he's like walking a little bit like ahead of me, like walking kind of fast, like walking out into the street, like not even caring if I was like, like I've never walked with a man where like he's not walking directly next to me or he's like, like stop, like let me see if someone's like coming on the street. Like he was just walking out on the street. So I'm like, that's weird. That was red flag number one. So walking ahead of me, walking fast, just walking out in the street. Strange. So we're having like a little small talk on the way to the restaurant. We get to the restaurant. On the way there, I think something was like misconstrued because later that night, like he said, he thought I said something, and I guess he was offended by it. But we were talking about like people in the area that I'm in California, SoCal. So we're talking about people here, just like the vibe. I'm asking him what he thinks of people here. Like he's not from here. He used to live in a different state. So I'm like, what's been your experience? And I said, I'm still feeling people out. So I think he thought I said I'm still feeling him out, which I am. Like, I didn't say that, but I am. I am still feeling you out. Like, we literally just met 5 minutes ago. So later we get to the restaurant and he said something like, you said you were still feeling me out. Like, what? Like, I never said that. I was like, huh? So whatever. So I ignored it. So we sit down, we're like in a cute, like tiki restaurant, basement looking place. It's like fun, kind of loud, kind of intimate, kind of dark, not super dark, but very decorative. So there's like a long booth against the wall, and then it's like a two top table. So across from Hiraki, my best friend, so across from the booth is like just a chair. So it's a two top. So I go and like I sit on the booth side. So before he sits down, he's like, "Oh, do you mind if I like sit on the same side as you?" Like I'm like, if you want the booth, like I could just sit in the chair, like that's fine. I don't mind. So he's like, "Oh no, I'm not gonna be able to hear you." So I'm like, okay. So it was kind of loud, so I give him that, right? I gave him that. I was like, okay, maybe he's not gonna be able to hear me. Like I don't want to be yelling. I don't talk super loud. So I'm not gonna be like yelling across the table. So whatever. So he comes, he sits next to me. I'm like automatically uncomfortable in that situation. But there were people like directly next to me, so I'm like, okay, we're not like secluded, like if something weird happened, like I could just be like, hey, to the person next to me, or just get up and leave. So he comes, sits super close to me, like no space in between. And I am not like a super touchy feely girl. Just growing up, like that just wasn't a thing in my family. I just didn't grow up like that. Do I love to show physical affection to people that I'm dating or romantic with? Yes, absolutely. But it takes a level of comfortability for me to do that. I have to want to do that? So I just felt automatically like I just don't like people in my personal space. So that was weird. That was strike one. Strike two, actually. So so we're sitting, we're talking. Honestly, like conversation wasn't bad. He was probably talking about himself 70%, maybe asking me a few questions about myself here and there. When I go on dates, I like to listen. I like to listen. I like to let the man talk. Ladies, I put this on threads. This was also like another viral thread that I posted yesterday. Like learn to listen. Like you are not there to impress and like be chosen, like, and you need to also like just do what you need to do outside of like dating to make yourself happy so that you're not so easily impressed. And when I say that, I mean like going to nice restaurants or like expecting a man to pay for your food. Like we had went on the date with the intention like a drink. That's what he had asked me, like if I want to get a drink. So I had no expectation of this being like a full dinner or like us being there for a long time. I was like, okay, cool. We'll probably be there max an hour. And that's cool with me. So yeah, so when it comes to dating ladies, like you need to listen. So I'm like listening for the most part of like what he's talking about himself, kind of like how he grew up a little bit. He's like telling me, he grew up not around. I just want to put a disclaimer out there, and this might not matter to some people, but for me as a black woman, I think it's important sometimes that I bring up certain things or I bring emphasis or attention to certain things, even though it might not matter to other people. This was a man not of color. Okay. This was a Caucasian man. And you guys could do what you want with that information. Okay. So he was saying he did not grow up around like any black people, any people of color, but he somehow ended up only dating black women. He's like, yeah, all my girlfriends have been black. Sir, it's giving fetish. It's giving I don't know. I don't know what it's giving. I don't know if it's giving white savior. Like, again, this is my live, my experience. So if you don't like what I'm saying, you can log off. But it's giving either fetish or white savior. Okay. Why are all your girlfriends black? But you grew up only around white people? That's weird. So you resonate more with black people. Okay. Um, I'd be curious to know what his actual friend group looked like outside of his romantic partnerships. You know, immediate friends, best friends, family. Yeah, definitely giving weird. Definitely giving weird, Ricky. So yeah, so that was mentioned. I'm like, okay. Probably strike three at that point. So so then I'm just like, casually like, so what's your dating experience been like here, since you moved here? And I feel like he started getting uncomfortable at that point. Like, I don't know what it is with men. Like, you guys don't like to talk about or be honest when it comes to maybe other dating experiences, or maybe you've been hurt by women. I don't really know. He said an inappropriate comment where he's like, "Yeah, I stopped dating Asian women because I'm not waiting 6 months to like kiss you." Okay, you're not waiting 6 months for Asian women to kiss you. So now you're stereotyping Asian women, um, because they haven't wanted to be intimate with you. Okay. So then I'm like, I had mentioned, I think I had asked him like what his intentions were when it came to dating. Mind you, I really wish I could like take a screenshot and post like his profile from the app so that you guys can see what he was talking about in his app. I think he had put like he's looking for commitment, he's looking to start a family, he's looking for the right woman to start a family. He values like emotional intelligence. Like I want to say it was something like that because you could put like what your values are on that app specifically. So everything I'm hearing out of this man's name, like out of this man's mouth, it's not adding up to his profile. Okay. So he's like, I don't even know where I am in the story right now. So yeah, so I asked him intentions with dating, like what's his intentions, and he's like, okay, Miss Serious. Okay, Miss Serious. Bro, it literally says on your profile that you were looking for a serious relationship. So I'm being too serious by asking you the question of what your intention on dating is? Are you serious? So after that, I'm like, okay, all right, I know where this is going at this point, right? So he's like, I guess I can't say I'm really looking for anything, like, you know, I'm not gonna lie, like I do think physical, like I don't know if he used the word intimacy, but basically he was saying like he needs to know that there's a physical connection, right? And okay, cool. Like, all right, I get that, right? Physical connection could be you're simply attracted to how they look, or maybe you feel a spark by talking to them or being in their presence. Like, that could be a physical connection. Physical connection could be like, oh, I see this person on this app. I'm going to swipe right or whatever because I like the way that they look. I'm attracted to them initially, right? But I think what this man was saying is he needs to know that there's going to be some type of physical intimacy off the bat. Okay, so that was the vibe I was getting. So, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was like, I've taken a break from dating in the past 2 years. I was like, I haven't really had much experience dating recently. Like, I went out with maybe one other person. Yeah, one other person since I moved here, and that experience was also weird. Weird. I also got the same vibe from this person that they just wanted to be physically intimate, and yeah, and then once I expressed that I wasn't trying to be intimate in that way, or like, have sex anytime soon, I feel like this person kind of fell off, which that's fine. Like, I have no issue with people like wanting what they want and then scaling back or falling back if they know that that's not a possibility for them. Cool. My issue is like, why not be clear about those things before going on to a date? And then why is your profile saying something completely different other than what you want? Serious and physical intimacy do not need to go together. You want intimacy after 5 minutes of knowing me? That's crazy. You know nothing about me. I know nothing about you. You could be a freaking psychopath. You could be a grapist. I'm saying that because I don't know how YouTube is, Grape. So, yeah, and then he mentions at the table he has 3 sisters, so he knows how women have been treated, and he's very like sensitive to that, and he knows how women are, and he blah blah blah. But then he contradicts his statement, and he's like, women have no need to be cautious. Why would you go into a relationship or dating being cautious? Sir, are you serious right now? Why would women, you have 3 sisters, and you're asking me why women are cautious when they're dating? So there's no such thing as assault on dates. There's no such thing as date grape. There's no such thing as that. That doesn't exist. So women don't need to be cautious. Women are completely safe walking around in this world dating men. That's what he was saying basically. But you have 3 sisters. Okay. Strike number like 5 or 6 at that point. So then he proceeds to like go to grab my hand, like hold my hand. And before that, actually, like, I want to say like a minute or two into sitting down, like he had touched my leg, which when like you're talking to someone and maybe you'll like slap their arm, like you're joking about something, or like you'll like my friend Ricky, like she does this all the time. She'll just like hit people, like if she's laughing or something. So he did that with my leg. Like he like mushed my leg or like touched my leg, and automatically like I like froze up. Because why are you touching my leg? Why are you touching my leg? We hadn't even started a conversation at that point. So I think he was like testing me out, testing out the waters. Like, this is what men do. This is what narcissistic, manipulative, abusive men do. They test you. They do little things to see how far they can take it and what you're going to accept. And then they just continue with whatever behavior as long as you're accepting it. So that's why as women, it's really important to just nip shit in the bud. Nip shit in the bud. I'm not okay with that shit. So he had touched my legs. I was like, noted, right? If he does it again, I'm going to go sit on the other side of the table. This was before the hand holding thing. The hand holding thing was at the end of the date, okay? So we're sitting down. I want to say the date maybe lasted 30 minutes, 30, maybe 40 minutes. We're sitting there. We had one drink. So probably about 30 minutes. One drink. That's it. No food, nothing, no shots, no second drink. So, yeah, so he goes and he like grabs my hand. Like, this is my boyfriend. Like, this is my man. Grabs my hand. So I like, just like, I didn't snatch my hand away, but I just like took my hand away. And he's like, he gets uncomfortable. He like starts like moving or whatever. And he's like, yeah, I think he had said, yeah, like, I think I'm just gonna go. He's like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna go. Like, I can't date a conservative woman. I need to know that the physical attraction is there off the bat. So you got offended because I didn't want to hold your hand after 30 minutes of talking. And because it wasn't in the time frame that you wanted, you're going to end the date. All right. You know what? Honestly, like, I was just shocked because I've never been on a date like that, number one. I've never been put in a situation like that. I've been, in some weird situations. Like, I used to be out here, okay? Mostly like club scene, nightlife, whatever, whatever, back in the day in my early 20s, early to mid 20s. So I have a lot of experience being around men, observing men's behavior, dealing with men with inappropriate behavior, all that. So I can't say that I was disappointed or surprised, just shocked in that moment. Like I've never dealt with something like that before. Um so and it's just like it's just the quickness of it. It's like the abruptness of like this is almost like the what's it called? Like an ultimatum, I guess. Like if you're not going to hold hands with me or if there's no intimacy right now within 30 minutes of this date, I do not want to continue this date. That is crazy to me. You would have thought that I said something about this man's mother, about his looks, something to really like offend him. But it was hand holding. So it was giving like emotional, something going on emotionally. Maybe some traumatic event, maybe feeling like I don't know, I'm not a therapist. I can't really unpack this too well. But maybe a feeling of neglect, rejection, maybe in like earlier years up until now. Maybe he faces a lot of rejection, but it's like this is why you're being rejected because you have no social cues. Why do you have no social cues? I never gave, mind you, I'm on this date like right now, like my chest is out. I'm gonna go teach soon. I'm pretty much like, when it comes to the way that I present myself, I know when to show skin or whatever the case. Like at that date, I was wearing like a long dress and like a freaking denim jacket, like a light jacket. So my arms weren't even showing. I didn't have no cleavage out. My legs were covered up into my knees. Like I looked like a Jewish woman. No offense. It was chilly outside. Like I wasn't trying to do none of that. Okay. So there was no reason for this man, even like, that's not even an excuse. As a feminist, however you like to dress, that is still no excuse. I could have went in with my ass out, my titties out, all of that. And that still doesn't give you the right to think that you have access to my body. It doesn't matter what I was wearing. But the fact that I was super covered up, like it's still like, bro, boy, like I didn't give you no type of cue, no type of sign that I was interested in being sexual with you. I was not trying to impress you with my body. I did not mention anything about sex. I never talked about wanting to be intimate with you. Like, you know, just strange. Can you guys still hear me? I want to make sure the service is good because I told y'all I went live the other day and I watched it and like a whole segment was like me, no audio, no talking. So if you can hear me, give me a yeah. Or I don't know, say something. Say hey, hello. Are you alive? So yeah, y'all. So after he got offended, he said he called me conservative. He asked for the check. He asked the server for the check. And like I wanted to laugh so bad. Like you see my face right now? Like this was like my face. I'm just like, bruh, what is going on? So after he asked for the bill, there was definitely like an awkward moment. Like we were just sitting there awkwardly, probably for like a good like minute. And then yeah, he had mentioned something about I think having like a high libido and he like just, he's not gonna be like waiting forever basically to be intimate with a woman and that's what he wants. And then also I found it was weird, like as soon as we sat down, he was like he was like making assumptions. I think that this man is very like presumptuous. That's what it is. It's like he's presumptuous, he had expectations, which are all like dangerous things. To be presumptuous and to have like expectations of someone and you don't even know them, that's a dangerous place to be in. So I think that was like his downfall, just wanting to be, you know, presumptuous and wanting things to happen on his own. We sat down and he's like, "Yeah, like if we hang out, like I'll introduce you to my friends." He said something like that, like I'll bring you around my friends. You'll probably meet, I'll introduce you to this girl, this Brazilian girl, blah, blah, blah. Why are we talking about introducing anybody to anybody? You do not know who I am. I could be a psychopath. So I'm in the midst of writing an article, a blog on my Substack because I was like fired up yesterday. Like once I saw that there were so many replies, I haven't even gotten into like all the comments. Like I can't. Honestly, there were so many ignorant comments from men on my post. A lot of women obviously like understanding, sticking up for me, like, you know, calling this guy out. But it's like, why are there not enough men who understand that this behavior is wrong? What are we being taught? What are we teaching men? Why are we not teaching men to face rejection with grace? That rejection is a part of life. People get rejected every day. You learn that when you start applying to colleges and all that. You're going to get rejected from something, especially when it comes to dating and women. You cannot have access to every single woman in the way that you would like to. We need to teach our sons this. And I'm so sorry, but I blame a lot of y'all mothers. I do. I blame a lot of y'all moms because I don't know what's going on. Anyway, child. Um, yeah. So I don't know what to say. I'm speechless. But I'm gonna be writing a Substack, so be on the lookout for that. And as far as the story, like this is this is the story. There's really not much for me to say. It is the moms. It is the moms. Like I'm confused. Or maybe it's just the influence. I think it's also a lack of like accountability in friendships, in like mentorship. Like a lot of men don't have like a male figure, like a male, yeah, like a positive male influence in their life. They're lacking that. They're lacking a positive male influence. Or a lot of people, you know, their families are not together, their parents are not together. I'm also a child of divorce, so I get that. But it's not an excuse, you know, like we have to, we got to do better. We got to do better. So yeah, I was definitely disgusted by that. I definitely don't want that to like deter me from wanting to date further, but I'm not gonna lie, like that really turned me off. I think at this point, like I'm approaching dating, like I said, in a more like detached way where I'm just going like to observe and just have these experiences. And I also know from a like spiritual sense that like God is going to sometimes test you. He's going to test you, especially if you have been someone who's been working on yourself and creating boundaries. Like that has been the heavy, deep work I've been doing the past 2 years specifically. Just setting boundaries, understanding my needs, being able to vocalize my needs, ask for what I want, not settle for less, all of that, building my confidence. So you're going to be tested. So I'm okay with that. And I'm actually pretty proud of the way that I handled myself. I didn't even tell the end of the story, but so we left. So we were sitting there, we like were finishing our drinks a little bit. And I think I had told him like he could go and like I'll just like stay there if he wants. Like there's no reason for us to walk out together at that point. Like the date is done. It's done. We both come to the end, you know, we came to the understanding this is not a match. It's not a good fit. So you can leave if you want to, you know. And I'm not about to sit here and like just be in awkward like silence. Like that's weird. So I was like, yeah, you can go. And he's like, no, like I was just waiting for you to finish your drink. Like I'll walk you to your car. So I'm like, okay. So we leave and then we get outside and he's like, yeah, I'm sorry. I feel like, you know, I took some of like my stress out on you. Like I've been really stressed out. Like there's like shit going on with my dog. And then so I even try to like reason with him and like be understanding. I'm like, yeah, I have shit going on with my dog too. My dog has fucking fleas right now, which is so annoying. And like, I'm not a mean person. Like, I can be I'm gonna say I could have been a bitch if I wanted to, okay? Old Marissa in my 20s, like, they're, a little unfiltered. Nowadays, I'm more concerned with being put in situations where I'm in danger. So, like, it's unfortunate that women have to kind of tiptoe around men. Like, it's at night, we're walking on the street together. Like, I don't know you. You could fucking pull me in an alley and choke me out. I don't know. So, like, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be polite and cordial until I get back to my car and I know that I'm safe. So I'm still, having small talk. I'm like, yeah, I get it. Like, my dog, there's things going on with my dog right now too. I get it. I get it. He's like, yeah, my dog's like, I think he said his dog has like kidney failure or something. I don't know if that's the truth or not. I don't know. He's like, yeah, my dog's been like pooping in the house, whatever. So I'm like, oh man. So then he's like, do you want to come meet my dog? Do you want to come meet my dog? Do you want to come up to my apartment and meet my dog? Sir, we were just out and you asked for the check because I didn't want to hold your hand. What makes you think that I want to go into your apartment? What makes you think that I want to meet your dog who's pooping in your apartment? I can't make this up. I cannot make this up, yo. So then he's like, I'm like, no, it's okay. Like, I'm gonna just head home. He's like, come on, like, I'll give you a massage. Like, I won't try to F you. Like, I promise. Like, sir, a massage? If I didn't let you touch my hand, why would I let you touch any other part of my body? Why would I put myself in a space in your apartment? I don't know you. You seem like you're stressed out. You have anger issues. You don't handle rejection well. You're entitled as AF. Why would I go into your apartment? People are unwell. People are unwell. So he walked me to my car, which was, thank God, not too far from the restaurant, maybe like 3 blocks. And that was that. I gave him the piece and I got in my car and I started hysterically laughing. That's pretty much it, y'all. As far as the story, I'm going to be sharing just more insight and unpacking this in like a more serious way on my Substack. So if you guys like to read, then head on over to my Substack, subscribe to my mailing list, or if you're on the app, you'll get notified when I drop the post. I'll probably be dropping it tonight or tomorrow. But yeah, I'm just disgusted. I'm disgusted. I don't know what to say. I do not know what to say, but I know my husband's out there. That's one thing about me. Like, I'm not going to be discouraged because, like, I know at the end of the day, like, I am a good woman. I am a good person. I know what I bring to the table. Okay. I'm a good person. So, yeah, I'm not down for that. But that was an experience, okay? When you're dating, they're all experiences, and that was absolutely a crazy one, to say the least. So hopefully less frogs in this dating process, and hopefully God sends me my husband very soon. But ladies, please be safe out here. Okay? Please be safe. It's crazy. We're living in crazy times. People need therapy. Okay? Men, please go to therapy. Please go to therapy. If you have a good job and you have insurance, I'm sure you could find a therapist right away. There's ZocDoc.com, ZocDoc.com. This is not sponsored, but ZocDoc is a great place to find any type of doctor that you need. You can even put in the insurance that you have. Okay? Anyway, ladies, be safe. I'll be sharing this. You guys can like rewatch it if you have not seen it from the beginning, and I'll also be sharing to my threads or whatever, and maybe in my Substack, I'll share the link. So thank you guys for being here. See you soon. Bye.